Hello members, Aleks is here, so good morning. Good morning my time. I will do the separate video on the top 5 beside the daily update, so that you don't have to bother to watch a long video on the daily update, which I will post in an hour or so, because I'm going to be traveling. So that will not affect the updates. I'm carrying my laptop with me, so all is good. So let's review the top 5 cryptos that we are looking, which are among these crypto categories. Seems to have the best chart setups for probable trades that might come relatively soon. So let's dive in. First one is STX. So as I'm looking this chart from the lows, I'm seeing a 5 waves up and a pullback. This is a complex WXY. Then we have a nice 5 wave moves, 3 wave move up in this possible yellow intermediary wave 3. So we are waiting this correction to be done. I'm looking for a yellow wave 4 in some type of a ABC X ABC. We might test a little bit lower levels, so this might be also a flat. So the support levels will be around 1.8 to 2. This is not an impulsive move on the upside. On the contrary, we only see 3 waves up, which means that this guy is still not ready. But I think that most likely very soon, since this might be a complex correction in an ABC, this is the X wave, a connector of 2 zigzags, we might have one more move on the downside in an ABC pullback. So this area will be very interesting for possible longs, in my opinion, for this wave 5 move on the upside to complete the higher degree wave 3. Next one is TIA. TIA is still looking good. From lows, we don't have a 5 wave move up, which will confirm that this was the actual lows. We stopped on the support at 9.06. So this is a daily time frame. So on a daily time frame, we see 5 waves up, relatively clear, pretty nice subdivisions there, and this is downward sloping but very choppy correction, which I labeled for now as a WXY with a completed Y wave. So the question is are we done in TIA? So for that we have to go on a smaller time frame and look what's going on here. So most likely I do think potentially we have some type of a wave 1 here with a possible flat, which might test 0.786. So I'm still not giving up on TIA, in a sense that this was an impulsive move on the upside, and I will look for a touch of a lower levels, and afterwards TIA might be potentially prepared to move further higher. So we can label this as a ABC, which will be some type of a flat correction. And of course, we have to look when we have a flats, because they can test pretty deep levels. We have to look for a 786 retracement, which will be the last result. Even the flats can go even further and test, actually make a double bottom. And the flats are pretty, in that sense, relatively hard to say immediately when they're done. So I do see this as a potential 5 wave move lower towards these levels, and then from there a possible reversal. Definitely TIA is one of the candidates which I look also for longs. I think this chart looks good overall for the further continuation to a new high, and definitely we will not like to miss this guy and try to seek some of the entries for the midterm hold towards the new highs. I think the charts still look good, and of course in this top 5 updates we will monitor this very carefully, where the potential entries might be and how the chart develops. The next two are meme coins. Pepe is still looking good. I posted the chart in the crypto community channel. So for now, I'm looking for a yellow wave 1. As you can see, Pepe is holding pretty nicely, despite the other cryptos are moving relatively lower. So I do see this as a 5-wave move. I will show you that here because it's already done with the wave count. So I will show you how does it look from the perspective of a wave development. And as you can see, I did label this as a wave 1, unfinished. I think this is a small triangle which is developing now, and I already marked a relatively very small stop loss if somebody wants to have an exposure, or you can wait a possible 5 waves up and a pullback, and this will be also a place for me for a potential exposure up to these levels with a relatively small stop loss. So it depends how you like it. I usually wait for a confirmation, then a pullback, because the stop loss is relatively small and the risk reward is relatively big. So I think Pepe is still looking nice. I do see this as a consolidation with a potential move up, and then after a pullback, Pepe will be probably also very good to have. Because after the wave 2 we might see a further expansion on the upside, because we lack on a daily chart, we lack a final push on the upside in the green wave 5, and I think this is the first wave of this green wave 5 development on Pepe. Floki disappointed a bit. I was looking for a move higher. Floki didn't made a kind of a convincing reversal from the potential wave 4 on the daily chart. This guy still looks good for the 5-wave move on the upside. It's similar as Pepe, but as you can see, there is a nice 5 waves up, pullback in a wave 2, very sharp wave 3. So I consider this to be a consolidation in a wave 4, and definitely I do think this guy will have a final push up in the wave 5. So it will be also a very nice to have this one, but we have to have the visibility or a confirmation that the wave 1 of the wave 5 is actually properly sized. For now, we came closely to the invalidation level here. If this guy starts to move rapidly on the upside, that's fine. It will probably make the 5th wave higher as Pepe. But if we don't see that, we will have to consider this just 1, 2, possibly wave 3, 4, and 5, and this will be some type of wave 2, or this is just an ABC and we're gonna move lower. Of course, I'm also very interested to have an exposure in this guy. It will be the best for us because of the visibility that this guy starts to move higher and actually makes 5-wave move, posting relatively even insignificant new high here, because then we can easily label this as a green wave 1, pullback in a green wave 2, and then a further move on the upside. So we'll have to wait a little bit on this one because of this pretty large drawn out correction, which is testing a wave count invalidation level. If we drop lower, we will have to look probably for a new test of the lower levels. We will have to move this wave 4 somewhere around here and then consider a new wave 1 on the upside. But I still think this guy is going to make a new high, but depends how this wave 4 will actually complete. Okay, so the last one from our top 5, we have ICP. ICP here is in the category of storage. As I said, I'm gonna add a couple of categories here, which I will show you next week. But let's complete the ICP chart. Let me just find it here, and here it is. So ICP made a very nice move. I was posting this as a wave 4. Unfortunately, it didn't make it because we have a wave count invalidation. So this is just a 3-wave move on the ICP, and the move lower looks relatively impulsive. So I think ICP is still not prepared to further move on the upside. So we have to observe this as a potential flat. We didn't invalidate the small wave 1 here yet. So potentially ACP might continue to go lower and test these levels, which is marked in yellow. We might have a small correction here, but then we might test this 1060 up to 960 before we actually complete these 5 waves and then turn higher towards either wave 3 or a wave C, because we don't know if this is just an ABC. But nevertheless, even one or the other probable move up on the ACP can be pretty significant, because this is just the first impulsive move from lows, as you can see. And then when you have just one impulsive move, all the corrections usually have a three-wave move. So ICP will either develop ABC move on the upside, which is still huge in the relative gains, or this will be a pure 5-wave move, and then after a correction ICP can continue higher. So far ICP, I think it's still very good on the upside. We just have to be patient to see when this correction is done and then start buying ICP around these levels. So I still do think these 5 charts, from all of which I looked, are looking the best. Of course, there is a couple of others like Dogecoin, which still kind of tries to complete this correction here, but it's not so clean as the other charts. I'm constantly trying to see how the other charts are looking, and probably I will add a couple more in this top 5. Of course, it can be top 6 or top 7 in the week or two. But I'm just going to add 2 more categories in it, and I'm reviewing this chart constantly to add new possible opportunities for us in this section. So thank you guys, and see you later in the daily update. Bye bye.